Hello, and welcome to the first ever Cover the Bases podcast for coverthebases.weebly.com. I'm expecting to hopefully be able to continue to broadcast every week, and hopefully we'll get some listeners. I'm going to discuss the postseason race in this broadcast and give opinions based on what is happening in the playoff race, of course. Let's get to it. We know it's everyone's goal to get into October and win the World Series. So that makes September an action-packed month every year, with teams racing towards the finish of this dreaded 162-game season. Of course, it's fun for us writers and fans, but playing in the stretch run is very tough on the players themselves. The division and wild card races are fun to break down, but are hard to predict, as baseball is a very unpredictable sport itself. Here are my division locks. The Atlanta Braves, they have a 12-game lead in the division. The LA Dodgers have a 12-game lead as well. The Boston Red Sox have a 7.5-game lead. And I consider the Tigers a lock just based on their team. They only have a 4.5-game lead. The divisions that are still up for grabs very much are the NL Central and the AL West. The NL Central has 3 teams separated by only 2 games, and the AL West has Oakland and Texas sitting atop 2 games apart apiece. And what I think it's going to stand the way it is. I think both ball clubs, Oakland and St. Louis, are consistent ball clubs that will continue to win and put the pressure on the rest of the division. Both ball clubs are smart. They've got good front office. They've got good managers. They've got good ball players. And I just think that they are the teams that will win those 2 divisions. The wild card locks. I consider the Texas Rangers and the Pittsburgh Pirates to win that first wild card just because of the way their teams are built. The Pirates have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pitching staff, and I don't see them losing that much ground in the wild card race, and I can see them going to the playoffs for the first time since 1992. The Texas Rangers also have a very good ball club, and they are more based on hitting, but they do play like a division winner. They have Yu Darvish and a very solid pitching staff as well. The teams in the wild cards that I think could make a run are all in the American League wild card race. The Indians, Orioles, and Yankees. Indians and Orioles are only 1.5 out. It's anyone's game. The Yankees are 3 out, but they're playing very well. I think the Indians and Orioles are less likely to be able to capture that second wild card than the Yankees. The Yankees are a team that takes, a lot of people by surprise. I think a lot of people were surprised that they aren't playing as well this year. They're without Captain Derek Jeter, but they still have a very solid ball club, and hopefully he can be back and come in the stretch run, and maybe the Yankees have something in them. The teams that are still in it, but I think their chances are becoming bleak, are the Nationals and the Royals. The Washington Nationals are already selling tickets, are already reserving playoff tickets. That's either very much optimism or really, really, really bad planning. The Washington Nationals are 6.5. Sorry about that. The Washington Nationals are out of the wild card by 7 games, and the Kansas City Royals are out by 4. The Washington Nationals have a good ball club, sort of like the Yankees, and I think they are a team that really could surprise down the stretch. But today's September 10th, and they haven't really gained much ground so far in September. So it's going to be hard to tell if they're really going to get hot enough to overcome teams like the Reds or the Pirates for the time being. And the Royals, I just think they're too inconsistent, and they've got too many teams that they have to hurdle above them to be able to come out on top. But they still have a good ball club, and they still have a shot. And my games to watch today that have to do with the postseason race. Kansas City at Cleveland. Obviously, both teams in the wild card race. New York at Baltimore, Yankees at Baltimore, wild card race. Boston at Tampa Bay, obviously big stakes for both teams. Boston just really wanted to extend that division lead in Tampa Bay, who wants to hold on to that wild card spot. Pittsburgh and Texas, obviously Texas is really wanting to come over, and win that division along with Pittsburgh. Texas in the AL West, Pittsburgh in the NL Central, and you know what? It's interleague, so what's more fun to watch than interleague? Oakland and Minnesota, and Milwaukee and St. Louis are my games to watch for tonight. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed my first ever weekly podcast, and hopefully this can be a success into the future. It was very fun doing this. Make sure to check me out on Twitter at Cover the Bases. Have a good week. We'll be covering those bases online. Signing off.